I now give the floor to Mr. Raffi Gregorian.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning, Excellencies. It is an honor to appear before the Security Council, which the Charter of the United Nations imbues with the responsibility for maintaining international peace and security. This Council has had a long and admirable record of consensus when it comes to the issue of terrorism, including landmark resolutions related to Al-Qaida in 1998, against terrorism as a whole in 2001, the establishment of a Counter-Terrorism Committee, and the series of resolutions against Daesh that set forth practical measures for member states that, as successive reports by the Secretary General have recorded, have helped member states choke off the flow of foreign terrorist fighters to Daesh and reduce its cash reserves. The whole world owes this Council its thanks for these measures. Unfortunately, there has not yet been consensus at the General Assembly on the draft Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism, including in relation to how the definition of terrorism would precisely apply in situations of armed conflict. When the General Assembly established the United Nations Office of Counterterrorism in 2017, it did so with the clear intention of helping member states implement the General Assembly's 2006 Global Counterterrorism Strategy and other relevant General Assembly and Security Council resolutions related to the fight against terrorism. The General Assembly mandate for UNOCT includes 5 main functions. Number 1, provide leadership on the General Assembly counterterrorism mandates entrusted to the Secretary General from across the United Nations system. Number 2, enhance coordination and coherence across the Global Counterterrorism Coordination Compact entities to ensure the balanced implementation of the 4 pillars of the UN Global Counterterrorism Strategy. Number 3, strengthen the delivery of United Nations counterterrorism capacity building assistance to member states. Number 4, improve visibility, advocacy, and resource mobilization for United Nations counterterrorism efforts. And number 5, ensure that due priority is given to counterterrorism across the United Nations system and that the important work on preventing violent extremism is firmly rooted in the strategy. The General Assembly does not provide UNOCT the mandate to investigate or ascertain the conduct of states and other actors, nor to determine what constitutes an act of terrorism, whether by a state, a group, or an individual. For these reasons, I regret that I have nothing else to contribute to the substance of today's session. What I would note, however, is that both this Council and the General Assembly, on several occasions, remarked that compliance with international law, including international human rights law and international humanitarian law, is the bedrock of the fight against terrorism. This includes full respect for all the obligations under the Charter of the United Nations. Any action that contravenes these higher-level legal obligations and moral imperatives undermines the global fight against terrorism. And as the hard-won 8th Consensus Review of the United Nations Global Counterterrorism Strategy by the General Assembly last month showed, when member states speak with one voice, we can make real and meaningful progress in the fight against terrorism. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.